Dear USA, all nations, and 7.9 plus billions of humans, I just want to have this as a generic civil justice sign off. Whatever I want for the civil justice, for I am displaying the USA government errors, public sector errors, private sector errors, and how USA government operations got destroyed, and for displaying the absolute monarchs scandal. I, Vethapriya PROSE, wanted these civil justice to be provided to me. Okay, so I'll just read the sign off so that it will be in all these other sessions. Okay, so for I, Vethapriya PROSE, native Indian tribe, Christian Jew of Israel, Judah, Jerusalem, and true owner of USA, and proved USA is Tamil Nadu, and I, Vethapriya PROSE, have highest impasse eligibility to lead USA. I must be the interim leader of USA now is civil justice served. And for I, Vethapriya PROSE, displayed USA government errors and the scandal of absolute monarchs to USA government. I, Vethapriya PROSE, for civil justice as in Holy Bible guidelines. I, Vethapriya PROSE, want United States of America nation to rename Lord Ripon Building in Tamil Nadu, India, after my name Vethapriya is civil justice served. And I, Vethapriya PROSE, to become the Vatican leader now is civil justice served. And Pope Francis resigns abruptly now is civil justice served. And I, Vethapriya PROSE, become Supreme Chief Civil Judge for all nations, now is civil justice served. And I, Vethapriya PROSE, become Supreme Chief Family Law and Supreme Chief Children Judge for all nations is civil justice served. And I, Vethapriya PROSE, to become Global Poverty Relief Medical Director Chief for all nations, to lead and guide World Bank, United Nations organizations, World Health Organizations, Center for Disease Control, Department of Children Families, Department of Health Services, Department of Justice, Department of Revenue, Department of Agriculture, Department of Imports Export, Department of Military in all nations across the globe is civil justice served. And I, Vethapriya PROSE, to be the ambassador for all nations, starting with India, and I, Vethapriya PROSE, should get dual citizenship of USA and India now is civil justice served. And thank you all for your time. Take care, my dear fellow mankind. I sure will get civil justice for entire human kingdom in 1 minute. Thank you all for your time. Bye for now. USA, all nations and 7.9 plus billions of humans, I hope we are all on the same page on this regard, that I'm providing very, very important, very, very crucial civil justice sign up for myself, and multitasking is the wisdom. With that said, I'll quickly read through the civil justice so that we all can be on the same page. Prostitutes, Antichrist, prostitutes, pro-Francis, prostitutes and absolute monarchs, and prostitute Republican government, prostitute Democrat government, prostitute Senates, prostitute Congress, prostitutes GOP, prostitutes House of Representatives, prostitutes Presidents 1 up until President 46 of USA, provided all USA amendments, tax fraud, deadliest crime classified as war crimes of slavery and hatred and discrimination, classification of Holocaust Nazism, and as of March 2021, the 46th President, Joe Biden, must resign now, immediate, for provided USA amendments, tax fraud, deadliest classified domestic violence, Holocaust Nazism crime. And Antichrist alias, Prostitute alias, Lucifer alias, Satan is Roman Catholics, Christianity, Jesuits leader, Pope Francis destroyed USA national operations, must resign now, and I, Vethapriya PROSE, must be the Vatican leader now according to the Holy Bible guidelines only. And I, Vethapriya PROSE, proved elections 2020 tax fraud crime, and I, Vethapriya PROSE, native Indian tribe, true owner of USA, should be the interim leader of USA now according to the Holy Bible guidelines only. And I, Vethapriya PROSE, should be the family law judge and children law judge, medical and finance law judge, and all types of judge for all nations, and must be global poverty relief medical director chief for all nations according to the Holy Bible guidelines only. Pope Francis must pay tax-free $500,000 trillion to each civilian times 7.9 plus billions of humans for destroyed USA national operations with fatal negligence and failed in guard of USHR. So what is this session is all about? The session is all about how the 46th President of United States of America, Joe Biden, a lawyer, provided amendment tax fraud crime. So in this session, I will cover the amendments 2 up until 5, and he provided that many times of crime. President Joe Biden, being a lawyer, provided that many times of tax fraud crime, and he cannot be president of USA, and he must resign immediately because the providing a tax fraud amendment crime is the deadliest national endangerment crime, and that is what President Joe Biden provided, being a lawyer. So what does the Amendment 2 says? A well-regulated militia, meaning military, meaning Army or Navy or Marine or Navy SEALs or Pentagon services, being necessary to be the security of a free state, meaning that military must never be abused for war or killing each other, versus the military services must be used only to help the civilians of the nations and other nations whenever the civilians are impacted by the natural disasters. So President Joe Biden provided the amendment tax fraud, and that is deadliest crime, and President Joe Biden must resign immediately. I will read that Amendment 2 one more time. A well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. So President Joe Biden provided a crime here, tax fraud crime, because he never reformed this Amendment 2 and never banned the National Rifle Association and never mandated Walmart cannot sell alcohol or tobacco, right? And also must not sell any of the military war equipments or toxic gun or hunting equipments, and still Walmart made it to sell. So this is the deadliest crime provided by 46th President Joe Biden of United States of America as of March 2021, and President Joe Biden must resign immediately according to the Holy Bible guidelines only. So what is Amendment 3? No soldier shall in time of peace be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in the time of war, but in a manner to be prescribed by the law. So here, what is a crime? Pope Francis never banned war. That is a crime. Queen Elizabeth II never banned war. That is a crime. President Joe Biden, being the 46th President of the United States of America, being a lawyer, never banned war. And in fact, being fatal negligence, he provided some bomb in Syria also recently, few weeks back, and he proved that he provided, and he will provide only tax fraud crime, and which comes under the deadliest Nazism, Holocaust crime, and that is what President Joe Biden provided as of today, and President Joe Biden must resign immediately, effective now. So what is Amendment 4? The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue, but upon probable cause supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or the things to be seized. So Pope Francis mandated that anytime anybody can go to anybody's house. That is crime number 1. Holocaust crime number 1. It is a data breach, and he mandated the data breach. Nobody goes and search inside the personal room of the Pope Francis or the personal room of the Queen Elizabeth II or Dalai Lama, right? It is all going to change right now, right? Watch and see. Watch and see. I'm tearing down Pope Francis in pieces, right? And tearing down Queen Elizabeth II in pieces, like how the lion will roar, right? The lion, people when going to the zoo, they will be seeing a silent, quiet lion only until they hear the roar of the lion, and how the lion will tear down into pieces when it's seeing a human in the front, right? I'm tearing down the Queen Elizabeth II in pieces, in cell by cell. I'm tearing down. Worldwide is watching what's exactly is going on, and nobody will ask why, right? How many African Americans must be riding on the road with fear? Will they be stopped by the cop any moment, right? Nobody stood up for them. Lindsey Graham, Mitt Romney, Amy, Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, right? Mitch McConnell, Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, Hillary Clinton, Michelle Obama. She's an African American lady, right? Nobody stood up. They're all prostitutes, right? What went wrong in the humanity? Just because Queen Elizabeth says this amendment, and just because the Pope Francis says this amendment, is this how the government should operate, like a foolish, like nonsensical way? 500 years passed. How much of torture these African Americans must have undergone through, right? Why nobody got civil justice for them? So I will tear Queen Elizabeth cell by cell in pieces, like a lion killing the human when it sees in the front of the lion. Nobody will ask why. Am I a lion? You go figure out the answer. Am I a lion? Am I a tiger? Am I a canine, a dog? You go figure out. I provided the task for you. But right now, I'm tearing down cell by cell, pieces by pieces of Queen Elizabeth II and Pope Francis and absolute monarchs, Dalai Lama, yoga gurus. Worldwide, let them watch. Right? When Queen Elizabeth threw African Americans just like that in Atlantic Ocean, in Pacific Ocean, in Indian Ocean, nobody stood up and asked, Queen, 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 Queen. Oh my Queen, God of USA, Queen. Stop, stop, stop. Just do not do that. Nobody educated her, right? Nobody. How many male populations were there, right? How many female populations were there? 2,000 years of slavery. Sudan got only a very recent independence, namesake independence from Queen Elizabeth II. Nobody stood up, isn't it? Nobody. How many became lawyers from Harvard Law School of United States of America, taking the pledge that they will sign only justice, civil justice, never ever punish innocent. They only mandated the white-skinned cops to grab the African Americans, throw in the jail, isn't it? Right? And Queen Elizabeth II and Pope Francis was watching it. Nobody. Be it Senate, be it GOP, be it Congress, be it House of Representatives, be it Supreme Court judges, nobody. They all just watched African Americans to be thrashed less than dirt, isn't it? To be died on the prison facilities, right? After 50 long years, after 60 long years, they've been mandated to release. Their entire prime time of young age will be gone, isn't it? What would Queen Elizabeth will do if I order the same tit for tat of justice for her? I can order it right now. USA will listen only to me. They will never listen to this prostitute Queen Elizabeth too. No. I'm tearing down cell by cell means what? A bone by bone. She thought only she can create evil, right? When she can create evil and get away, live free for 95 long years, and even she's living free in the tax-free in the palace. Oh yeah, she should know what the cleanest heart, the knife heart, the sharpest tool in the whole entire earth can do. And I'm tearing down her in pieces. Worldwide is watching. Nobody will dare to ask why. Nobody will dare to ask why, right? I'm tearing down Pope Francis in pieces. President Joe Biden will resign immediately. Looking at me tearing Pope Francis, President Joe Biden, the lawyer, will resign immediately. Because this is how the discipline should go, right? I can understand the innocent part, and that is why I can bail out all these people. But he provided amendment, tax fraud, crime. What is President Joe Biden going to say? Is he going to say he knows what is amendment of United States of America, being a citizen of USA? Or is he going to say, oh, sorry, Vethapriya, I've never even heard about amendment. Oh, it's so new to me. Either ways, I won the case, isn't it? I'm tearing down Queen Elizabeth in pieces, cell by cell, nerve by nerve, neuron by neuron, enzymes by enzymes, blood cell by blood cell, white blood cells by white blood cells, heart by heart. She has only one heart, okay, one heart and one brain, two sets of kidneys, general organs, right? Respiratory organs, hair, everything, piece by piece. I'm tearing it down. Nobody will ask me why. Like how a lion will kill the human right in front if he sees, the lion sees the prey, right? P-R-E-Y, not the P-R-A-Y. Do not get confused, pray, like that, right? That's the fun part. But there are words, rhyming words, right? Pray, like that. No, this is not the time to pray. This is the killing time, right? Burn the evil in ashes time. Nobody can prevent her disgraceful death for this Queen Elizabeth II, the prostitute, right? As if African slavery, bloodshed was not enough for her, for 2,000 years of slavery was not enough for her. She went to each and every single nation, including United States of America, Africa, South America, Canada, all Europe nations, all Asian nations, all Islam nations, and she tore the humans in pieces, isn't it? She just killed my fellow mankind in India all of a sudden. Do you all know how much of deadliest crime that is? Without, the people were gathered inside the closed walls without any awareness, and she mandated the British military to shoot them down. All count by count. Nobody provided civil justice for that. She killed Hitler. Nobody provided civil justice for Hitler, right? She killed Saddam Hussein. She killed Osama bin Laden. She murdered, manslaughtered Karl Marx and Engels, Stalin of Russia, right? She killed Genghis Khan, who destroyed Korea, Japan, and that area, China, that landmass, right? She killed everybody. The manslaughter, the man-eater, the cannibal. Oh yes, when I'm tearing down Queen Elizabeth in pieces, nobody will dare not ask me why, right? So President Joe Biden will be disciplined to know why he provided amendment tax fraud. Oh, that is deadliest crime, my dear fellow mankind. For a nation to sign injustice is the deadliest crime. That nation is disqualified to be called as nation. Do you all know? As if all this crime is not enough, Do you all think, please keep your God-given hands on your heart and say, is Dr. Fauci Dr. brings humans? After creating the scandal, they got paid with the highest paying salary. Right? What would you all have done? See, she never left out even the white-skinned people. I already said how many people in Russia, in Germany, they all underwent through the famine. Today, the nation is seeing developed nations like Germany and Russia and China, Japan, they all, India, they all underwent a lot of famine, unemployment, depression, recession. Who created that? Because of the World War I and World War II kind of crap. Queen Elizabeth II. How many people must have shed and cried for prayer in prayers to God? Oh God, please save me. I don't want to die. These people are killing me. These people are killing me. And still she went and killed them anyways. Right? Nobody dared to stood up and fry Queen Elizabeth in ashes, isn't it? Rather, they are only worshipping the prostitute as a god. How long the population can tolerate this kind of an injustice? How long? 2,000 years of slavery went. 500 years old USA. Even this moment, an African American must be slaughtered by the white-skinned cop, and it is because of the Queen Elizabeth II. And there is a reason behind why she's provided that task to the cops. I will reveal it later. I will reveal it later. Is this how these foolish people can be? How foolish can these people be? I will read the Fourth Amendment one more time. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath of affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. Why the United States of federal government never provide the same in the Buckingham Palace? Because she is the one who killed everybody. She is a rapist. She is a sex offender. She is a sex assaulter. She is a sexual harassment provider. She is a pornography provider. She is a prostitute provider. She is a Las Vegas provider. Right? What not of a crime? She is a tobacco provider. She is an alcohol provider. She is a genetic modified food provider. Why? Why nobody arrested her and threw her in the chair? Why nobody threw her in the volcano? Why? Rather, worshipping her as a god. What went wrong in the brains of the humans, the educated population? Right? Banks give free loans to them, to Queen Elizabeth II, for this much destruction she provided to the humanity. And when a homeless runs to the bank rejects loans for them. Right? Why nobody stood up and educated you? The foolish nation in the whole entire planet is USA after all. Worldwide is laughing, mocking at USA with whatever destruction they provided to the humanity, isn't it? They got all the curse. They got all the curse. The population of USA never knew why worldwide cursing USA, right? Now they will know, right? Now they will know. The blood is super boiling, my dear fellow mankind. Each innerwear, each American wearing, the woman wearing, it's all created from Tamil Nadu. Tax fraud, right? The Ford, the Mercedes-Benz, the Tesla, the whatever automobile is created from Tamil Nadu, right? Tax fraud. You name all the handbags, all the clothing, all the footwear, Tamil Nadu. All the spices, you name it, Tamil Nadu. All the software world population, Tamils are working as slaves, worldwide. Tamil Nadu. Tax fraud. And top of that, Queen Elizabeth II created all kinds of diseases in Tamil Nadu, right? Orphanages, rental womb services to rent the womb to get the babies to be delivered to the Australian civilians. It is Queen Elizabeth did that crime, right? Out of all the nations in the earth, first nation to be sealed and shut down will be Australia. I told that. Now, this moment, the Facebook and all the worldwide people can relate me to that. I am the first woman to stood up and said Australia will be sealed and shut down, first nation in the earth, in the queue, meaning no mercy for Australia, right? Are Tamil Nadu women sex machines? She created genetic modified foods worldwide. And only because of my education, only USA got food labeling. India do not have food labeling. So how much of crime she provided? Why nobody stood up and asked her? Why doctors never mocked her or bullied her? Right? Why banking sectors never mocked her and bullied her? She created leprosy. And then she mandated Pope Francis to send that prostitute Saint Mother Teresa to there for tax fraud, orphanages. I already said that crime too, right? As if all the other crimes is not enough. She is the one who created leprosy in India. When all the other nations do not have leprosy, only India alone has leprosy. She created that disease mandatedly and purposefully. Nobody asked her, isn't it? As if that was not enough, she mandated Germany doctors to create deformity, mandated to the Tamil Nadu population, right? Birth defects. People were not understanding why people were getting birth defects in India, right? Nobody slapped her, right? Nobody fried her in ashes. Why? How many educated population are there? Doctors world are there, teachers world are there, education facilities there, scientists there, education is there. How many people? National leaders there, right? Government is there, presidents are there, prime ministers there, right? As if that is not enough, she also created a lot of cancers. That's worldwide, right? It should not be there. She created Ebola virus, she created rabies, she created all kind of a crap people never knew. She created the Zika virus in South America a few years ago when I was educating about all this crime of hers. That's when she wanted to create the Zika virus in South America. When they had the Olympics games there in Rio, she wanted to create that. She created it. She is the only one who created that Zika virus. Nobody knew. Even babies, even children population, she never left out. She is a child endangerment after all. And why nobody stood up and fried her in ashes? Why? What went wrong in educated population, human brains? What education facilities educating to the population? Why? How many Christians are there worldwide, isn't it? At least Billy Graham could have fried her in ashes, isn't it? He's a prostitute. He was prostituting with Queen Elizabeth too, in the name of God. Right? Tell me, is it my job to come and step in and educate what is amendment, my amendment to President Joe Biden, who is a citizen of USA and also lawyer and also the 46th president and also being a vice president and lawmaker for entire life? He created this tax fraud crime, my dear fellow man, and he cannot and can never be a president. He just cannot. Right? So this Amendment 4, how it has been misused by the police agencies, by the federal agencies, by the CIA, by the national intelligence organizations, right? Everywhere tax fraud. Everywhere tax fraud. Exponentially the crime has increased. This crime is so deadliest. Without fixing all these, no, government cannot even operate. USA lost its eligibility to be a nation after all. Right? Amendment 4. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath of or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. Tax fraud. Then, what is Amendment 5? There's a long list of amendments. So I thought, why can't I break down the amendments in a shorter session so that I can keep the session short, right? What is Amendment 5? No person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless on a presentment or indictment of a grand jury, except in cases arising in the land or naval forces or in the militia when in actual services in time of war or public danger, nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb, nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. Can you all see? He will only get heart attack right now, President Joe Biden. Who created this tax fraud crime? Who created it? Right? If you see in any of the amendments, there is never criminal law. That is a crime. So what would you all have done when you're a lawyer and you know that criminal law is a crime? You would have first of all stepped in and said, whatever this amendment is not right, you would have burnt it in ashes and you would have sat and wrote a new law. Right? That is why there is a law. Whenever there is a old law is inefficient, is not good, they will take away, they'll burn it in ashes and write a new law. Criminal law is a crime, so ban it. He failed in that job. Why? Because Queen Elizabeth wanted to live free, and Pope Francis wanted to live free, and all the Islam leaders, prostitutes want to live free worldwide. Netanyahu want to live free. They all want to save themselves. Right? And they wanted to make criminal law as organized law. Yes, my dear fellow mankind, this Amendment 5 is a live proof of tax fraud crime provided by 46th President Joe Biden, a Democrat President Joe Biden, a lawyer President Joe Biden, provided deadliest tax fraud crime that comes under the classification of deadliest domestic violence of slavery, hatred, discrimination, breach of duty, intentional infliction of emotional distress, causation and injury to the brain nerves. What not? Right? Is he a human, first of all? Does he even have any conscience? Right? Does he even have any conscience? Is he a human? Nor be deprived of life means what? Be deprived of life means what? Do not grab the innocent African Americans or white skin Americans or red skin Americans or yellow skin Americans or purple skin Americans and throw them in jail. But what is happening right now in USA? Any corner on the United States of America, white cops are going on the roads and grabbing all the African Americans and throwing them on the jail. What is the reason behind it? Have you ever even thought about it? Why? Why innocent are thrown in the jail? Do you all have a clue? Queen Elizabeth is providing that. She provided then, she provided now the same slavery, the African slavery. It is clearly written in the hands of the Statue of Liberty, the prostitute statue, that whoever enters into the United States will be slaves forever to Queen Elizabeth too. It's not only African Americans for that matter. White-skinned Europeans, Americans are thinking they are privileged just because they're white. No, they are slaves too. Just because they're not thrown in the jail like African Americans, they are thinking they are privileged. That's how the fools will think, right? It's never about the skin color, my dear fellow mankind. It's never about the skin color. I already educated, right? It's never about the skin color. This crime is so deadliest and beyond. That's the reason why she mandated all the cops to grab African Americans and throw in the jail. 16 years, 15 years, 10 years, 12 years, they'll be thrown to the jail. And for namesake, they will say, now this African American who's thrown in the jail will be healthy for the community, and they will release him in the 60th year or 80th year out on the road to be just go mad and die on the road, right? Because everything will change. Government will change, generations will be gone, younger generations will be gone, loved ones will be died, career gone, destroyed. Right? How much of sufferings must have done in the one single cell, torn in pieces. So, I coolest way will tear down Queen Elizabeth cell by cell. Nobody will dare to ask me why, right? I got emotional, right? Well, I got emotional for whatever crime she has did to the humanity. I just cannot tolerate it. I'm extra empath. It's as simple as that. I just cannot tolerate. And I just cannot tolerate these foolish people worshipping her as God who backstabbed her, right? Who created all this hell for you and me? Did you all ask for amendments? I never asked. Did you all ask for this law? No, right? This is a perfect example of how when humans create law, how it will be selfish according to their own will and pleasures. They will create a law, right? Queen Elizabeth mandated she is a god. So she can do whatever she can for a crap. Nobody will stand up and ask. That's the truth, right? Nobody stood up and asked. And I, here you go, in 2021, I'm tearing down in pieces the cell by cell of Queen Elizabeth II. And I'm nailing on the forehead of Pope Francis. Nobody will ask why. Nobody will ask why. For President Joe Biden provided this amendment 2, 3, 4, 5 tax fraud. It comes under the classification of domestic violence of slavery, hatred, discrimination, and deadliest war crime, and that comes under the classification of crime count of Holocaust Nazism. And President Joe Biden found at fault guilty in all counts of crime of amendments, tax fraud, must resign now, according to the Holy Bible guidelines only. And President Joe Biden must resign now from Vatican according to the Holy Bible guidelines only. And I, Vethapriya PROSE, true owner of USA, must be the interim leader of USA now. And I, Vethapriya PROSE, must become the Vatican leader now. Is civil justice served according to the Holy Bible guidelines only. And thank you all for your time. Take care. Bye for now.